Did you ever have one of those days? You know, the ones where you're hot and you're tired and it doesn't seem like you accomplished much of anything. Today was one of those days. Made a trip about an hour and a half away to do some work with a friend. You can see all the stuff I've got in the back of my car, and it just didn't seem to go very well. It just wasn't very productive. And I'm hot, tired, and I've got a long way drive home, and I had not kept very good contact with my wife, Joy. And I really feel bad about that. And that combination, I was just like, man. And then my wife texted me back after my apology. And she said, have some grace. Stop at one of our favorite Oregon Dairy and get a vanilla milkshake to encourage you. And you know what? I was past the exit, but I turned around and came back. And I texted her back and said, thank you for the grace. Amazing. Just that little thing. And you know what? When I got my milkshake, sorry, I've already drank half of it, but I can bring it up here and show you what's left. I said to the girl that was doing the milkshake, I said, hey, would you mind, could I buy a cup of ice water? And I said, I've got a long journey ahead of me, and I'm hot, and I'm tired. And she said, don't worry. She's like, I can get that for you. She said, I won't charge you anything. I said, well, that's fine. I said, thank you. And you know what she said when she came back? She said, is one enough? Would you like a second one? And I said, no, that's okay. And later I discovered that they had complimentary water, and so I refilled my ice water before I hopped back in the car. Another simple example of grace. Where have you given someone grace today? And have you received the grace that others have offered you today? Remember, you are not alone. We are in this freedom flow together. Thank you for joining me in this process. And thank you for encouraging me today to receive grace in the flow.